Hello, everyone. This is week number 9 of my 52-week challenge to do a LinkedIn Live every single week. I'm here with Coach Adrian Trumbo today, and we'll be talking about how to develop a growth mindset. How are you doing today, Adrian?
I'm doing well, man. Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. This is why I like doing these on Fridays. It just kind of kicks off my weekend on a strong note here, and just sharing a lot of good information here with our guests. So, Adrian, I'll give you a couple minutes here. Let you introduce yourself. What do you do?
I am a certified professional coach. In my own private business, I work with young adults and professionals, helping them develop the tools to grow through life and career transitions. I also work part-time as a career coach for the award-winning coding boot camp at Flatiron School.
Oh, very cool. And good morning to you, Maria.
Hello,
Hope you're doing
Maria.
well today. So, yeah, no, thanks for sharing a little bit about yourself there, Adrian. I think what your experience as a coach with being actually a certified professional coach ties in really well with what we're going to be talking about today about how to develop a growth mindset here. What I like to do with all my LinkedIn Lives is start with an icebreaker. We'll be doing two truths and a lie. I'll be going first. I'll be sharing my two truths and a lie. I'll let you guess. I'll let the people watching guess as well, and then I'll share my answer, and I'll let you share as well. So if you're ready for that, get started there.
Let her rip.
Okay, two truths and a lie. So number one, I haven't grown taller since I was 15. Basically, I've been the same height since I was 15.
Okay.
Number two, I have been to 25 states. So I've been to half of the states in the United States.
Okay.
And then number three, I've ran a half marathon before. So let me put that on the screen here. If you're watching, put what number in the comments, which one you think is the lie here. Hopefully our audience can get 2 for 2 today. I've been a little disappointed the past couple of weeks. These are hard. So, Adrian, any initial thoughts here?
I think it's true. I think you haven't grown since you were 15. I think you sprouted early. And then I would say, I think you have ran a half marathon, and I'll say the lie is number two, that you've been to 25 states.
Okay. So, hi, Maria, again. You think number one is the lie. So you think I have grown since I was 15 here. Let me put it back on the screen here. So, give people
Well, I
some
know for
time.
a fact you've grown in other ways, Stephen.
Yes, I have grown. Yes, which is why we have this topic today. I had to be specific. I couldn't say, hey, I haven't grown since I was 15. That's I had put the clarification stuff, the wording there that I haven't been taller since I was 15. So, any more guesses here? So, Adrian, you're going with number two. You don't think I've been to 25 states.
I don't think so.
Maria thinks it's number one. Haven't grown taller since I was 15. Give another maybe 15, 20 seconds here for people to guess.
Yeah, I just think number two is too specific. I think it's too specific. I think maybe it could be like 22 states or something, but I don't think it's 25.
Okay, so I'm going to share what my lie is. My lie is, yes, Adrian, you are correct. I have not been to 25 states. I think I counted for, I think I've been to maybe somewhere between 10 or 15. So I have not visited much of the United States. California is a big state, so I've been up and down,
That's
east
true.
and
You can
west,
cover a lot of
all of
ground.
California. So I've been to Oregon before. That's where you are. So maybe around 10 to 15 states. So yes, you were right on number one there. I have not grown since I was 15. I was one of the tallest people in middle school, and I just literally just stopped growing. So I blame my mom for that. She's 5 foot baby, so I blame her for me not being taller there. So.
And what half marathon did you run?
Yeah, I ran a half marathon in 2018, and that's going to be one of the examples I'm going to share about developing that growth mindset. That year I wanted to challenge myself to do something physically, right? Because the year before, I didn't take good care of my health, so I wanted to set a goal that was hard enough for me to work towards, but not easy enough for me just to show up and do it. So yeah, I did train for a half marathon, and I completed it in a little bit over 2 hours, so that's around a 9 to 10 minute pace there. So
good for you.
Happy with my time there. But
that's
yeah,
awesome.
definitely the hardest physical thing I've ever done. So Adrian, you want to share your two truths and a lie here?
Let's go for it.
All right, I'll put it on the screen here. I'll let you share it here.
Okay, so two truths and a lie. So I have previously filed for bankruptcy. And by the way, I'm not ashamed of being vulnerable. So could be true for sure. All these could be true. 2, I am Hispanic. And 3, I am a cancer survivor.
Yeah, these are really good ones. This one's tough. Nothing very specific here, like mine here. Yeah, if you're watching, put in the comments what number do you think is the lie here for Adrian. Yeah, this is a tough one here. The Hispanic one, I feel like that's like a curveball. I feel like that's just like I'm just gonna put that
No,
out
like
there, and it's either I would.
I thought about
I'm
that.
just
I thought about that, and I was like, if they say that's a lie, is that like insulting my,
yeah, I know.
potentially my heritage or something? But I thought, I'm just gonna put these out there, and we'll leave you all to decide how you interpret them.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like I'm thinking with number two, but it's like I'm going to be completely right or completely wrong here. Maria thinks it's number two. She doesn't think you're Hispanic. Maybe we need a side conversation after that.
Yeah, we need
So
some DEI training after this. It's okay.
yeah,
We'll
some
get through it.
diversity inclusion training here. Yeah, all right. I think I'm going to go with number two. I don't want to say, oh, I feel terrible if you say you are a cancer survivor and say, oh no, absolutely you're not. I feel terrible for doing that. So
Yeah, I know. I hate to put you all in a position to feel like complete jerks if you get this one wrong.
all right, so I'm gonna let's see. We have another comment here. Oh, Maria thinks maybe you're Portuguese, so I will go with her guess as well. Let me put that back on the screen here. I think number two is a lie. So Adrian, which one is your lie here?
Number one. Number one is the lie.
Oh, okay. So you are Hispanic and you are a cancer survivor then.
That's right. That's right. My family's from Costa Rica.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Yep. Go ahead, bud.
Go ahead.
And I am a survivor of childhood leukemia.
Oh, that is great to hear. Yeah, it's no, thanks for sharing something personal like that there. So
this is how I roll, man. This is me.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, let's just get straight into our topic here. I think just put the first question up front here. How do you develop a growth mindset? So, Adrian, I'll let you go first, and then I can share my insights as well.
Well, I think number one is you really got to be prepared to fail. A growth mindset isn't really developed when times are good. Honestly, you don't really develop. You develop a growth mindset when you're tired. When it relates to maybe sports or athletics, right? Like you're really, in terms of half marathon, you're really working on your growth mindset, trying to finish that race when it gets grueling in mile 9 or 10. But I also think it requires a lot of reflection. So for me, every time something happens to me that objectively seems unsavory, unfortunate, or challenging, I've just trained myself over the years, decades really, to ask myself, okay, this wasn't solely intended for my harm, right? This is out of my control. So the two questions typically, and that is, how can I grow from this, or what is there to learn from this? And that's typically my go-to when I self-coach during challenging situations.
Yeah, exactly. We grow when we have to grow, right? And I think last year with the pandemic, that's the perfect example, right? It's just we all think, hey, we don't want to be in this situation anymore, right? We're stuck, right? We need to get out. So you develop that growth mindset. I will share my example. Last year, I decided to start my coaching business, and that's been something on my mind for years because I've been doing the weekly videos since 2018. I just never had a reason to do it, right? And I was like, hey, 2020, it's a pandemic. Everyone's saying, hey, you got to come out of it better than you went in. I was done with grad school at that point. So I was like, hey, there's no better time to start my coaching business than right now. And that's how you grow. Because if you don't take that first step, you don't know, like you might have all these assumptions of what's going to take and what you're going to do. But I learned a lot the first 2 to 3 months when starting it, because I realized that I want to do this, I want to do that, and I just had to go focus on different things. I had to reach out to different coaches, get advice as well. So I definitely agree with you. We grow when times are tough, and that's sort of that catalyst to help you grow as a person or grow wherever you want to grow.
Yeah, and it's normal. I mean, during good economic times, right, it's normal to have doubts about venturing into something new, let alone a pandemic. So I can only imagine right? The thoughts, the feelings that came to mind that you had to grow through in order to lean into, doing more video and growing into somebody who can coach other people through experiences that you've shared with them.
Yeah, definitely. And I would add that as part of having that growth mindset, if you're comfortable where you are, right, and that's why some people, it's nothing bad or anything. Some people just enjoy being in the same job for decades, and that's just what they enjoy doing. But that means you're comfortable, and some people are just not comfortable with being too comfortable, right? It's just like I'm sitting here and I do the same thing every day, and I think that's sort of that a switch flipped for me back in 2017, and I was like, hey, I feel like I'm just getting a little comfortable. At that point, I was in the same job right out of school. I was in the same position for 3 years at that point, and I decided, hey, I want to do something different. I started developing a kind of a growth mindset. Hey, how do I grow? And I wrote monthly articles on LinkedIn to share my goals with them and to hold myself accountable. One of the goals I had that year was to learn something new every day, right? Whether watching something on YouTube, whether it's learning some fact or something. And I think that really set that growth, helped me grow exponentially over the past few years. In 2018, I started doing weekly videos, which I never thought I would ever do. It just continued to grow that way as well. So just realizing, hey, I'm not okay just being too comfortable here. So let me find opportunities for me to grow.
Well, and Stephen, some people never get there. So you may be looking at your mental, emotional, and physical health in 2017, and obviously there's always an impetus or a life event or some revelation or mindset shift, and you decide to do something about it. But some people dwell on that, and it actually leads them to inaction, right? If you dwell on it for too long, or, I coach around energy levels, and energy level 1, which is the lowest and most catabolic, it's really that heavy weight you feel on your shoulders, that stress you feel in your neck, that leads you to inaction, right? So your feelings in 2017 were completely normal, but frankly, you doing something about it was a tad abnormal, right? But that's how we grow.
Exactly, and I like what you said there about we feel like we have this heavy weight on our shoulders, and it's just hard to take that first step. So what I tell people, and a lot of people are like, hey, how do I go from being a shy introvert, being able to be comfortable with public speaking? How do I start making videos on LinkedIn? And you basically just have to say, screw it, I just got to put myself out there. You can have all this self doubt, you can have all this I don't want to call it lack of confidence, just having you just feel like people are going to be judging you and just afraid to take that first step. And you just got to say, hey, it's a leap of faith, definitely, and you just got to take it. And once you take that first step, and I tell people, once you put that first video out there, it just makes it so much easier after the fact, right? You start getting this positive support. You're like, hey, that wasn't that bad, and we are our own toughest critic. But you have to be able to overcome that and just take that first step.
It's almost like the anticipation is what's the killer. But once you take the first step and get on the other side and are able to reflect, you're like, wow, I really made it that big of a deal, right? My inner critic, like you said, was really speaking that loudly. And then you just step into it, lean into it, right? Push yourself through that discomfort. And what you'll find is your new threshold for what you can tolerate from a discomfort standpoint actually goes up, right? So the next thing you try, right, like say you moving from doing your blogs regularly to doing videos to posting on LinkedIn to lives, right? Lives are kind of up at the pinnacle of that, putting yourself out there. And you just work up to it because your threshold grows. You grow, you literally grow, and your ability to endure whatever it was before, if you go look back 6 months, you'd be like, wow, I cannot even believe I made such a big deal out of that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And this is why I call it a 52-week challenge. It's not easy making videos every single week. And with these LinkedIn lives, I'm calling it a 52-week challenge because it's not easy either, right? Because I'm going to do it every Friday, but like right now I'm on vacation. I got to figure out, hey, is this going to work for my hotel room? And I'm glad it's so far so good. Knock on wood here, right? But it's just part of it. I have to, I can't just go on vacation. I got to bring my laptop with me. I got to make sure, we got our topic in hand. We're good to go. So it's definitely a challenge there. So I want to kind of transition here. Maybe Adrian, do you want to share some personal examples of how you've grown, or maybe people you coach, how they've grown with having that growth mindset?
Yeah, I'll offer the one personal and then the other one with people I've worked with, not naming names, but I mean, specifically last year, I lost my job during the pandemic. And I had thought about becoming a coach for years. I've always been a leader in everything I've done. I get in early, stay late. Like in basketball, I always wanted to take the last shot, be the last one to leave practice, sort of thing. And that's just always been who I am. So I've always been a coach in my mind. But when I lost my job last year, holy cow! I mean, to go from like a pretty good income as a recruiter. I had actually had a good string of like the last 6 months in that role. And then, just the nature of a small business, decisions have to be made. And I didn't take anything personal at that time. And I remember telling my boss that. And so I had to decide, with no stream of income, right? There was no severance package or anything, not a lot in savings. What am I going to do with my life? And so it was actually that same day that I scheduled a call with an admissions coach for my coaching program that I got certified in later. And I actually incorporated a business. I just incorporated the people tree, not knowing what it was going to be, but I just needed something I could gravitate towards. So with no job, no income, no means to pay for my coaching certification, which was $12,000 plus, I just went all in on it. And I just thought, I've got to have some structure, some guidance, because if I just sit here for too long, and literally it was 1 hour after I got let go that I did these things. And then I started my coaching certification in April with no clients, no prior experience being employed as a coach. And I got my first client a month or two later, second client shortly thereafter. And then in July, I interviewed a very rigorous interview through Flatiron School, which is no easy breezy thing. And it required 8 years of HR professional development training or coaching experience. And I didn't have any of it. And I got the role. I got the role as a career coach. And I've since on that side been able to help 3 to 6 adults who are in career transition find that job, that dream job, every single month at Flatiron School. And so where I see my clients and my job seekers grow is most of them are like you. They're introverts, right? They're computer programmers. They're not putting themselves out there. And a lot of them have no prior experience going into the transitioning into what they're doing. So I literally see these individuals put themselves out there in networking events, doing their projects, posting their blogs, and then engaging on LinkedIn, which ends up being a big bulk of the reason why they get jobs. And it's just incredible to see the transformation that happens over about 2 or 3 months of that job search. They literally transform. And so my story is similar to the story of the people I'm working with, right? Found myself in a career transition, having never done that job I'm looking for before. All the doubts, all the inner critic stuff that goes on in your head, the limiting beliefs, gremlins, imposter syndrome. And so I can help them. I'm both the certified coach side and the life experience side. And so that's why I just love what I do, because it's just me looking back from the future and helping the me from 6 months, a year ago, or whenever ago. And some of these young adults are in their 20s, right? Or me in my 20s. And so I'm looking back and helping these people that remind me of myself through the experiences I've had and then the tools that I've acquired as a coach. And it's just awesome. I love what I do. I'm going to be doing it as long as I can.
Yeah, thanks for sharing all that. First of all, that personal example and all this is just absolutely amazing. And like what you said, and tied into what we said at the very beginning, you just had to make that change because you lost your job, you had no income. You're just like, hey, I gotta take that next step, and you only took an hour to make that decision, and then just helping others kind of realize that growth as well. And I really like what you said. You see yourself in your clients, and I think that just makes that relationship with them and helping them grow and build up, just it makes it a much more personable, right? Because you see something in common with yourself and your clients, and that just helps everyone grow together. And it's just an amazing story there. Thank you for sharing all of that.
You bet, man. It's me. It's my story. I'm living it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you did touch on something that was, I would like to dig a little deeper. And you said people had to overcome their self doubt. Introverts having to go to networking events, and I think a lot of people are just uncomfortable with being on LinkedIn as well. So, do you have any tips on how to overcome self doubt or that imposter syndrome?
Ooh. I think the most important thing to do is acknowledge that your imposter is a completely normal and natural part of who you are. So what the imposter is actually the oldest part of your brainstem that responds exclusively to fear. So that's the fight or flight response of your brainstem, which is the oldest part of your brain. It's literally biologically, physiologically, totally normal. So when people say, well, I got to get over my imposter, or I got to kick my imposter to the curb, well, you actually can't. So it never really goes away. But what you can do with practice, with coaching, with stepping into that self-doubt, stepping into the growth mindset, leaning into discomfort, is over time you turn the volume down on it, right? And so you can have conversations with it and say, you know what? I realize you're not going away. And you think you're protecting me, but this is actually not like a life or death situation here. Like I'm not running from a saber-toothed tiger. And so I'm just going to keep moving forward. So now when I work with individuals who I coach, I help them develop a healthy relationship with that inner critic, with that imposter, and use it to their advantage, because the imposter only shows up when you're about to do something big. And it's meant to keep you safe, to have you play small, which is the only thing it knows how to do. But your mind has evolved, right, over millions of years. And so your conscious mind can actually make better decisions than the knee-jerk lizard brain can. And so recognizing that the imposter is actually a good thing, because if he or she or it is showing up, it means you're about to do something big. And just having that conversation with it, and learning that it's never going to go away, and just to accept it and recognize that it actually could play to your advantage the more that you acknowledge that it only shows up when you're doing something big or challenging.
Yeah, no, I like that explanation. It's just part of who we are as humans, right? It's normal. You just have to know and learn how to control it. And I like what you just said at the very end. It kind of triggers when something big is going to happen to you. It's not life or death, right? But something big. I was going to add, you just take baby steps, right? And that kind of ties into what you said about turning the volume down a little bit. For example, if you're an introvert and you're going to go public speak, do a speech or do something, speak in public, you don't go out and talk to 200 people or 1,000 people right off the bat. Go and just talk to like 5 friends, right? And these are people that know you, right? Be in that environment where you're presented to 5 friends, and they, first of all, can provide you some honest feedback, but because you know these people, you have that trust with them. And it's not as scary as talking to 200 strangers. And just over time, you turn that imposter down a little bit even more, right? You talk to a larger group, you talk to more, a bigger audience or different people, and you just kind of turn that down a bit. Same thing with if you're going to a networking event, right? You don't have to be the loudest person or the most popular person there, right? Maybe set a goal with yourself, bring a friend with you and say, hey, for each of us, we're going to talk to 5 people. Once we're done talking to 5, we're just going to leave, right? Next time you come back, hey, you get a little comfortable. Hey, it's not that bad. You can go by yourself. You can talk to 10 people instead. And you just start growing like that. It's just it's very slight, but over time, the progress you make over time, it's just huge.
Yeah, that idea of the 1%, right? The daily 1%, it all adds up. And I have a couple thoughts if I could share on exactly what you just said. Ted Lasso is one of my favorite shows. And after his first day of coaching this Premier League soccer club, after never coaching soccer before, the owner of the club asked him, how did your first day on the job go? And he said, I don't know what y'all's smallest unit of measurement is here, but that's about how much progress I made today. And I think about that with what you said. There's literally no step too small in the direction of your goals or whatever it is you seek. And I think sometimes we look at the end result or this vision and we get caught up in this big idea that my goal is to eventually be a public speaker or have 20 clients a month in my private business or whatever it is. And we don't look at like, okay, well, let's back it up, or what I like to call, let's come back from the future. And let's just take a look at what is the smallest acceptable measure of success you will take today. And so I encourage the people I coach to ask themselves, how am I defining success like for this event, for this action, for this item? And define success for yourself. And so for me, like success sometimes is as simple as showing up, right? Maybe I put my foot in my mouth or I don't look I know what I'm talking about. Fine. And my measure of success is for showing up and bringing good energy. I am literally successful every day of my life, Stephen. And I think what you said about taking small, even tiny measurable steps, if it's still in the direction of your goals, you are succeeding.
Exactly. And I really like what you said. Sometimes just showing up, that's the first step. And it just reminds me of those, I do the Peloton classes, and one of the coaches, she's definitely the hardest coaches. And every time I'm just like, man, this class is going to be hard. But every single class, she says, hey, the hardest part of the workout's over. You showed up. You just got to keep going here. So, it's just, the first video, the first live stream, the first speech, whatever you do, it's definitely the hardest. But you just got to do that first one, get that first one done and over with. And then you start building that confidence. You turn down that imposter even more because you're like, hey, I accomplished something. I'm making progress. I'm working towards what I want, what your goal is, what your measurement of success is. So you're definitely making progress there.
Yeah, and identify that for yourself, because it's very easy to see Stephen, who does live streams all the time, who does all these edited videos that look really slick. And if my unit of measurement is against you, then of course I'm failing because I'm not doing edited videos and live streams every week or whatever. But if I look at what my personal, like how do I define happiness or joy for me, like in each of these moments, I can define success for myself regardless of the external circumstances or what anybody else who I'm comparing myself, which comparison is the thief of joy. But regardless of any of those external factors, I'm taking control of my own success, my own joy, my own happiness. And literally the smallest thing you can derive some measure of success from, that's totally okay. And your smallest unit of measurement for that, your first step, Stephen, is going to be different than mine. And that's okay. You're at different places. You and I literally, other than the fact that we're made of carbon and energy, like we're totally different, right? And that should be celebrated, and you should appreciate those things about you which make you unique.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, don't compare yourself to others, right? Because everyone's in a different place. Everyone's at a different situation in their life. But just compare yourself to yourself, right? Compare yourself today to yesterday. Did I grow from yesterday? Compare, whatever you're working on. Did I make progress today? Right? Don't look at someone. And, there's people I look up to on LinkedIn, right? And they're just awesome public speakers and just doing so much stuff. But it's like, okay, that's a success. That's where I want to be in the future. But I can't compare myself today to where they are today, right? We're all on different paces. We're all on different speeds here. So just compare yourself to yourself. And hey, am I getting stronger? Am I getting better? Am I getting more comfortable? Am I getting more confident? Just take that measure of success, whatever that smallest unit of measurement that you mentioned, and just say, hey, did I make that progress today? Am I getting better every single time?
Yeah, that's it. I think a good coach, I'm not saying that you can't be a good coach if you don't do this, but helping your people develop tools, because you and I as coaches, we coach in different areas, but the coaching stops at the end of that call, right? But if your people have some tools they could take with them, they can sort of self-coach themselves. And so that question of what is my measurement for success today, for this event, for this activity, for this live? And you set your own bar, right? Regardless of anybody else, because there's always going to be somebody doing it better than you. But also perspective, right? You look back at who you were or where other people are at. There's plenty of people who wish they were you, frankly. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I get messages like, "Hey, your videos inspire me. Your posts inspire me," and I'm just like, it's like, wow, I can't imagine that, because I'm helping others, right? That's the intent of my post. But just getting messages like that, like, wow, I've definitely come a long way. Because when I started, I'm looking at other people for inspiration. They're doing awesome videos. They're posting so much, so often, and it took me time to get to posting multiple times a week, right? I used to do weekly videos. Now I'm posting multiple times a week with different types of content, and just getting messages like that's like, wow, I've definitely come a long way. And I tell people, hey, everyone can be an inspiration, right? We're all in different stages in our life here. So,
I saw a post the other day about leadership, and my thought on leadership is some people are intentional leaders, but if you have people around you, you're influencing other people. So you're a leader in one way or another, whether you think you are, because you want to be, or just because by default. But we're influencing people all of the time that we don't even realize.
Yeah, you don't have to be coded as a leader at work to be a leader. I learned that before. When I said in front of a bunch of people, like, yeah, all you guys are leaders, and I'm not. Like, no, you're a leader. Everyone's a leader in different ways here. So, Adrian, I just want to say thank you so much for your time here. I'll give you a floor here. You have any programs coming up? Anything you want to share? Anything you want to plug for our audience here? I'm gonna put your LinkedIn on the profile. So make sure if you're watching this, make sure you connect with Adrian Trumbo. He's a certified professional coach. And yeah, Adrian, anything you want to add or anything you want to share?
Yeah, I mean, I love being a coach. And so, of course, I'm always taking new clients until I can no longer take new clients. So I do offer complimentary first 60-minute sessions, no strings attached. But my live series on Tuesdays is called Let's Get Growing. The purpose of it is for me and one other professional, like say Steven, as a co-host, we bring up 3 or 4 professionals who are wanting to show up on video, who probably aren't very active on LinkedIn. And I help them follow a very specific process where they share a 1 to 2 minute elevator pitch with me, which is just who they are and what they're all about, to get them on the program. And then they come up for 10 or 12 minutes and get to share who they are with us. We support them. We provide a safe and encouraging environment. And then if they choose to go the distance on this Tell Me About Yourself challenge, they post a video on LinkedIn. They tag me and the other individual who co-hosted me for that week, along with the hashtag Tell Me About Yourself challenge. I've only been doing it for a couple of weeks, but I can tell you, Stephen, that the imposter is real. Like everybody who first say they want to do this and come up on my live and go through this, I mean, they're going to experience more engagement. They're going to grow. I know that for a fact, but they have to push through that discomfort. But once everybody who's done it, they're like, I got people reaching out to me. I got people engaging with me. My network is growing. I've got opportunities and they're like, so glad they did it. Right. But like we talked about earlier, it's just the anticipation of it. Some people, it's a very nerve-wracking thing. But I'm doing that every Tuesday as long as humanly possible. And I want to support as many professionals as possible to put themselves out there on video, go through this challenge, and see the increased engagement and growth and potential opportunity. So that's something I'm really pumped about. I'm taking all comers, whoever wants to join that challenge and be supported on that live. Reach out to me, DM me. I'd be happy to support you in that area and get you more exposure.
That is amazing. And then just tying into what we said earlier, you're providing people the tools to get to where they want to be, right? So you take that first step, just show up on a live, right? And it feels like it's not a video because you're just having a conversation with someone, and it seems a little more natural. Yes, you are on camera, and yeah, you might think, oh yeah, people are watching me, but you take that first step, you're like, hey, that's not that bad. And then now, if you record a session, that's basically a video right there, and you just got to upload it. And people on LinkedIn already seen that. So I really really like what you're doing there, Adrian. Just helping people get a little bit out of their comfort zone and just help them grow. And you have a couple examples that you shared of the success stories. People getting reached out, people getting a bigger network just by posting a video on LinkedIn. So that is absolutely amazing there. So yeah, make sure connect with Adrian there. I put the link right there. Connect with Adrian Trumbo. If you're looking for coaching services, looking to grow, or if you want to join his Tell Me About Yourself challenge, I think that's absolutely amazing as well. So yeah, thank you so much, Adrian, for joining my live stream here.
Steven, thank you so much, and happy Friday and happy anniversary to you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for being able to adjust the time a little bit to match my schedule here. But
it's been the best 36 minutes of my day.
Oh, I'm glad to be part of it there. So hey, thank you so much, Adrian. Thank you to whoever's watching. Make sure to connect with Adrian there, and I'll talk to everyone next week on my LinkedIn live series. So have a good one, everyone.